With over 20,000 Amish men, women, and children living in and around Geauga County, Ohio, it is the second largest Amish settlement in the state, and impressively, the fourth largest in the world. These plain people make up 1 out of every 5 residents in the county. The Amish story started back in 1885 when Bishop David Miller from Holmes County traveled 100 miles by open buggy to scout for available farmland in a new land. The following year, on March 28th, Samuel W. Weaver packed up his belongings and headed north from Holmes County to Geauga County. Using a horse and buggy, he and his wife and 9 children would make the journey to begin their new life. It wasn't until a year later, in 1867, that Simon Mast, also from Holmes County, and ministers Dan and Jacob Byler from Lawrence County, Pennsylvania, and their families moved in to join the Weavers. Later that same year, the first congregation was organized, and even more families moved in from Indiana, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Just like other Amish settlements across the country at that time, almost every Amishman was a farmer. The new settlers in Geauga County either purchased their land outright or rented on a 50-50 crop sharing basis, while awaiting for farms in the area to be sold. With their large families sharing the labor of milking relatively large herds for the time, the new settlers did exceedingly well. In time, they also added maple syrup production, which added to their economic success. Prosperity, not only for the Amish but other countyans as well, followed. The Amish brought with them farming methods that had enabled them to produce more per acre than many of their English farmer neighbors. One of these was the use of lime and fertilizers on their fields. Established farmers in the area had been leery in the use of soil enhancements, believing the cost wasn't justified. It didn't take them long to become believers, though, as the Amish harvested lush fields of alfalfa in amounts unheard of in the area. Today, the settlement is spread out over parts of 4 counties: Geauga, Ashtabula, Trumbull, and Portage. There are approximately 140 church districts, 3,800 families, 100 schools, and 3 special schools. Ever-increasing land prices and urban sprawl from the Cleveland area has made it difficult for the Amish farmer. It wasn't that long ago that farming was the main source of income for most Amish families in the area. But that has changed rapidly in the current century. Less than 50 families today are supported by farming. Construction jobs, running home businesses, laboring in sawmills, and factory work has supplanted working the earth for most Amish in the area. Maple syrup production, though, has remained an important economic supplement for many families. Watch and enjoy the sights and sounds of Geauga County and the surrounding area. We'll visit some stores, a butcher shop, 2 cheese houses. We'll see school children playing at recess, horse-driven buggies and carts on the winding back roads, some farmers in the fields using real horsepower. See their tidy homesteads, mostly painted white. Visit 2 covered bridges, one of which is the longest in the United States. and see some gorgeous aerial views of the countryside and an odd property you won't believe is in the area. Our first stop is going to be right here at the Amish Walmart of Geauga County. If you visit the area, this is a definite must stop. They have a little bit of everything. Look at these beautiful scooters over here. Look at those colors. These handmade barns and run-ins and stables were pretty impressive. I really like them. I picked up a few miniatures for my farm. These ladies here picked up a few goods too. Geauga County is well known for their maple syrup production. I'll bet you these forests are ablaze with color in the fall. There's a lot of safety precautions recently undertaken in the county to keep the Amish kids safe. Here's some evidence of the maple syrup production in the area. Gravity feed lines to the sap house or to the collection tank. It's a shame in the area that many Amish are growing up not knowing how to work field horses. The area doesn't lack thrift stores and bargain stores. You'll notice a lot of these little ice boxes in the area. Don't expect to see many colors on their houses. One of the few remaining Amish dairies in the area. Isn't that just a beautiful setting? If you visit the area, one of the things that you're going to notice right away is how friendly these people are. Stop in here for all your barbecuing needs, your butchering needs, and even some of your trophy needs. You'll notice in many of these little Amish stores, they have quite a variety of things they sell.
Oh, that's okay.
School's out for the day and the shadows are getting long, but the playfield needs mowing. A young man on an electric bike pulling an Amish boy on his scooter. This is a ground-driven corn binder. Because many Amish in the area don't work on farms any longer, there is much more time for recreation. There are hundreds of gas and oil leases in the county. This is one of 19 covered bridges in Ashtabula County. This is another must stop if you're in the area. The Heritage Marketplace.
Number 5, Alistair Teefy Roofie. From the depths I call to you. You'll notice that this is a more
The building on the left with the white roof, that's an old auction barn. We're going to take a tour of that in a minute. It's really cool inside. There are some other neat shops in this building here, right in the same complex. Let's take a look inside the old auction barn. This is filled with antique and vintage items. Pretty neat place to visit. I'll give you a quick look-see before we learn a little bit more about the livestock auction barn here.
Ladies, you good?
Yeah, we're good. Thank you.
What do you think?
It's really cool in here. Very,
We've been here about 5 months.
It's a cool place. I gotta put my husband.
Here we're getting into the auction area.
Here, let me give
More
you some
about that
cards.
in a few minutes.
Oh, thank you. What?
You're welcome. Bring your husband and you get 10% off.
All right.
The old scales under here, under this green carpet. Overstepped my bounds.
Yeah, that's okay.
We have the scale in here.
And then up here, this was all bleachers. The bleachers would come down here to here. This was a corral. They would bring the cow around that was on the scale. Put the cow here. And this was the old restaurant up there. So you get your coffee and your eggs and bacon and your Amish homemade bread and all that would be up here. And this would be where all the actions happen. And this would be full of people all up here. And then up top here is the offices. It was our original building built for auction purpose, 1952.
1952.
Here's your cows, right here.
Oh, there they are over here. What a neat building.
Fantastic building. That's Parshing Andy. Parshing means peaches in Amish. And Parshing Andy had a peach farm, so that was his nickname, was Peaches.
Oh, okay.
Or Parshing Andy.
I'm upstairs here looking down on the auction area. A nice display of old fishing tackle.
This right here is this.
Okay.
And then this up here top
Here's a
is right here
1979
as you're looking
newspaper
down in.
showing me some pictures and a
And then
story
this
that
right here
was
is the corral,
written
so the
then.
dirt floor.
Mm-hmm.
This door over here is this one behind you. And then this over here, and right here. And then this here Here's a close-up of it. See this right here? That's behind them is the old restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And then you got this right where you're standing is right where he's at.
Oh, is it? Okay,
Mhm.
yeah.
And then right here is up here is where you would go upstairs and pay for your winnings. The upstairs windows.
Right, okay.
But it'd be on the opposite side of that are the windows where you pay
Okay.
for your
Yeah.
winning bid.
Right.
Here's another close-up of it here. That's 1979.
I can't help but believe that if public schools were to institute 3 recesses a day, like the Amish schools do, there'd be far less discipline problems. They sell a lot of locally produced items in this store. one of the large sawmills in the area. I've always wondered how logs got to be put into box trailers. Check this out. This white fence surrounds the property, or what used to be the property, of Don King, the boxing promoter. He promoted the likes of Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, and Mike Tyson. This is quite the odd property. If you want to see it in person, go to Chubb Road in Windsor, Ohio. You might think I keep driving by the same statues, but I'm not. I'm just traveling down Chubb Road. I was talking to one local who said many of the statues had been removed, but there were still dozens and dozens there. Even with the funky statues, it is a beautiful 400-acre estate still. This is the Ladue Reservoir, one of 3 reservoirs that make up the water system for the city of Akron. They had some neat handmade Amish carriages and wagons and things here. A wagon went home with me for my farm. I've seen treadmills for horses, but never something like this for exercise. I'm not big on businesses that do this. I'm not big on being a sitting duck. We'll finish up by looking at the longest covered bridge in the United States, the Smolin Gulf Covered Bridge in Ashtabula County, Ohio. This is quite the engineering feat.